Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to BuckyRabelGuitars. Tonight I'm going to show you a trick on how to repair a loose guitar jack where the cable plugs in and out. Sometimes what will happen over time, these will get wore out and they'll move. When you go to pull the cable out, this whole unit may move with it. This here happens to be a project that I'm working on. I'll probably have finished next week. So for right now, that's just being hidden. But what I'm going to show you here is how to disassemble this and resecure it. As you can see here, if I wiggle this a little bit, this wants to move out quite a bit, to such an extent that if you pop it out a little, you can grab the screw and literally slide the screw right out of the hole. It's not even being held in there by any threads anymore because it's completely stripped out. The back screw here isn't quite as bad. Still a little loose, but not as bad as the front one. Once screws are out, you're going to pop this out of here. Just be gentle. You don't want to pull on the wires. Set it out of the way here. Clean around the holes a little bit. Might as well clean under here while you can, while the jack isn't in. And then what you're going to want to do is take the toothpicks. You don't want to fill the entire hole with the toothpick. It's going to take up too much space. So basically what you're going to do is trim the toothpick to be about 2/3 of the size of the screw. So what I'm going to do here, so I'm just going to mark it real quick. Hold the screw here next to the toothpick. Mark about 2/3 of the way up. Line up the second toothpick. You want both of them to be the same size. Mark this one as well. You just see them both marked there. That's about all the toothpick that we're going to want to go into that hole. We're going to want to fill about half the hole, half to 2/3 of the length of the screw. And then basically just use cutters. Cut the tips off. Cut on a little bit of an angle if you can. Helps the screw seat into the wood from the toothpick. Cut both of these off. So now we've got our small tips here. And then you're going to want to use the non-expanding glue. And you really don't need much. You're only going to need a little bit of this. So easiest thing to do is to just take the toothpick, hold it by the back end, rub it around in the top, get some glue on it. Once you got just a little bit of glue on there, go ahead and stick that in the hole. Just push it in with your finger for now. Grab the second one, big end. Get some glue on the tip. Not too much, just a little bit on there. Put this in the hole. Line this one up again, just push it in with your finger for now. And then at this point, grab one of the cut off pieces of toothpick that you have and use this to seat these into the bottom of the holes. Push them all the way in as far as they'll go with this toothpick. Get them in there. They'll stop. They'll be nice and snug. This one's being a little stubborn. Got to give it a good hard push. This one went in nice and easy. But it's in there. That's all we need for right now. So what that's going to do, the glue is going to bond the wood from the guitar body with the wood from the toothpick. It's going to bond those together over time. The toothpick is going to split and it's going to stretch when the screw goes into it. Once the screw goes into the toothpick, it splits it open. That glue and that toothpick is going to bond into the body, and it's basically a lot easier than drilling out and using bigger screws. A lot less damage on the body. You can still keep the same screw holes, use the same screws, fill them in, little piece of a toothpick with some glue. Now you're going to come in, set this back in place. You want to do this while the glue is still wet, because like I was saying, you want to be able to split the toothpick. So get your screws started. And I never tighten them all the way in. You always want to start the screw, get it maybe a third of the way in, maybe halfway, and then do the second one. And then that way when you're doing the second one, you can make sure that the jack plate here aligns correctly. If you tighten this one down, you're not going to be able to move this around to get it in position right to line up the hole. So you never want to put these all the way in until you get them both going. Get the second one in here going. Sometimes you got to push a little bit harder when you're putting these in because they're actually driving into that piece of toothpick and splitting it. Which is good, because as you've seen, when the screw pulled right out of the hole at the beginning, there was nothing there to hold it. And now, at this point in time, oh, she snugs up really good. Get this second one here tightened in. Same thing, going in nice and good. You know, it takes a little bit more effort, obviously. You're punching a new hole through the wooden toothpick that's glued in there. Starting to get tight. And that's it. Once both screws are tight, let the glue dry in there overnight. Don't even need to tape it. Everything's good. We'll let it sit and should be good for another lifetime of use. Thanks everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe.